So, quickie Lake Erie Speedway aftermath for the May show 2021 with my helper. So we'll start with the Enduro car here. 05 Buick LaCrosse. Nothing really special about it. It's got an old 3800 in it, a Series 3. As you can see, the car is freaking mint. Barely even got touched at all. So I didn't have very high hopes for this car. Kayla ran it last year in her very first Enduro, and she didn't like it at all and pulled off after 12 laps because there's a huge wreck in front of her. But I had gone through it and put all new pads and rotors on it and new lower control arms up front. Just made sure everything was safe and good. I bought this car for $300. Somebody had hit a curb over on this side, stuffed in the wheel. The whole engine cradle's actually a little bit bent. I straightened everything out the best I could, so it's got one random wheel on it. But it's a good solid car, so I was trying to keep it nice. That's literally just from pushing somebody off at the end of the race. I literally didn't even bump anybody. So, it's a good car. Nice and solid. I thought it'd be really slow, but it's actually pretty quick for what it is. It handles pretty decent for what it is, and the brakes are really good for what they are. So, I really like this car. Doing pretty good in the Enduro. I got 6 out of 100, which is, pretty decent. But it developed a nasty misfire after that long red flag where the ambulance came out. The check engine light was flashing while I was driving, and it felt fine. And then it started getting a noticeable miss, and then after I shut it off for that red flag and turned it back on, it was very unhappy. I just scanned it. It's got a 1350, which is for the ICM, which is that ignition control module that's under the coil packs down there. I haven't even opened the hood or anything yet. And you can see it under the coil packs down there, so they might be all corroded and dirty or something, or I might just need to buy a new one, or they could have a mouse chewed through wire, who knows. But great car, she'll be back. These cheapy Ohatsus, or however you want to pronounce them, that are the Falcon rebranded or old molds or who knows tires. I love these FP7000. These are good tires. I've had these on 3 cars for 3 different races now, and they still got a lot of feathering but plenty of life. I'll spin them around and run them again, and they are mud and snow rated, so Chuck can't complain they're a high performance tire. They are an all season tire, so, and they're like a 480 tread wear, so good tires. I like them. Made in Indonesia. Back to the old Super Explorer, which refuses to die. Best boat trailer race I've ever ran. Me and, I forget the guy's name. I think it was Kevin. I'm not sure. But he was driving 36. He won both the boat trailer and he won the skid car race. He had a Jeep Commander or something. It wasn't a Liberty. I think it was a Commander. I don't know, but the thing was a rocket ship. But great race. Me and him battled for first place for pretty much 8 out of the 10 laps. And he ended up winning. Last race, last corner, I came in a little low, and I had lost the right rear on the boat, so it was all sliding all over the place, and I came in a little too hot trying to catch him and spun out, and then Luke passed me in the Caprice, and I ended up with 3rd, but whatever. I'm not even upset. It was such a good race. I don't care. The Explorer likes to eat at least 1 boat per boat trailer race, so I fretted a nice one down the back stretch of there. Just a little cosmetic damage. The boat spun around like 4 times, so it looks pretty cool at least. Didn't hurt anything. These stupid freaking Cooper Cobras. I'm running low on good tires. And they're not dry rot or anything, but they are from 2006, and it's, 2021. So those are 15-year-old tires, and they're not dry rotted, but they're as hard as a rock. They're like driving on marble, so. This 2-door over here came with some nice new tires on Steely's when I bought it before I put the torque thrust on, so those will probably find its way onto this thing. But other than that, it's just unkillable. I just got to see how many races I can do now. This was its. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Well, that one doesn't count because I didn't even make it out of the line out chute. So this was its 9th race. Come on, this thing's a freaking trooper. It's just an absolute sweetheart. I did blow this tire. There was all that shit from the camper that rolled over and got a nice big hole in it, but it held out for the race. The one race I did not even start in, the battery I had in here was about 10 years old, and it got a shorted cell or something, and that was it. I started it off the jump box, pulled up into the line out chute. As soon as I turned the fan on, it died. The alternator couldn't keep up. The battery was so weak. 222 on her, and she's just a sweetheart. So that's all I got. We ran the kidney bean. I hated the kidney bean in August, but this time it wasn't that bad. This car was fun to bomb around the kidney bean, I think. By the end of the race, it was running so shitty, I just kept my foot to the floor. I didn't even need to touch the brakes. I just hammered down. I am possibly thinking about changing things up a little bit. This was my winter beater Trailblazer for a winter. It's an 07 with the 4.2 Atlas, so 291 horse versus 210 horse. Gotta do some work to it, but it still runs. So what's this thing got on it? 282. So she's tired, but it's just where I keep my spare parts for the time being. But I don't know, I might pull this thing out. It's got good tires on it, it's got more power. I'm kind of sick of looking at it, so we'll see what happens.